to the feminine from the masculine. With everything that's going on in this world, I want to take a moment to let you into my world as a 3-5 splenic projector with the right angle cross of penetration 3. A world that within me began to shift when I was 18 years old. Over 14 years ago, I travelled to Poland for 1 year, straight out of school. This is where my eyes began to open. From that moment, I've dived in and explored many cultures from around the world, all giving me a glimpse, a perspective of another way of living. See, I grew up in Australia, went to a private school and the University of Melbourne. I was given all the opportunities one could want to become successful, to achieve one's dreams. And I'm truly grateful for this. It is true that as a white man, doors open for others where they may not have. I've lived in Bali for a year, India for almost half a year in an ashram, America for over 4 years. And a huge part of this has been because I've been given the education and privileges to do so. Let's time travel back to April 19th, 1770. Captain Cook discovered the land of the first Australians, who referred to the world and creation as the dream time. They understood in ways that is unimaginable for us these days. Their connection to nature, creation, the dream time, each other. They saw themselves as one. This would have been a shock when they were met with violence, brutality, and control, and have been almost wiped out with their culture shoved to the side. As a white man, to know I come from this lineage, I feel like it's my responsibility to look under the covers of what society's painted in front of my eyes and seek the truth. With what is happening in this world right now, the same energy that ran through the blood of Captain Cook's men is also running through much of humanity, whether conscious or unconscious. We are seeing with our own eyes our fellow humans do things to each other that are unimaginable. This is not about taking sides, this is about bringing light to our own shadows and to our own darknesses. One of the most ancient and holy prayers is known as the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, which in essence refers to one God. It points to the truth of humanity, that we all come from the same place, birthed within one God, one Creator, Creatrix. Everyone likes to talk about love, feel love, write songs about love. Yet what is love? The purity of love is union, unity, oneness. Love is when you welcome another as yourself. This is true love. Love is not just a feeling you get from another because your needs are met, so it feels good. True love is union. The opposite of love is fear. People think fear is being scared of something, being afraid. Yes, that's an effect of fear. The truth of fear is separation. It's when we see ourselves as separate from the whole, separate from others, from nature, from life. Then we for sure will feel fear. Because within this view we are separate, we are alone, we are isolated. Yet fear is an illusion, because we all come from the same place. We are one, much like a drop in the ocean. It comes from the ocean. Imagine drops from the one ocean fighting. I bet they'll feel pretty silly when they return to the ocean and realize that they were one all along. So we need to understand where this separation comes from. Where does this fear come from? So that we're able to bring wholeness first and foremost to oneself, to ourselves, then to others, and then to the world. We see separation within our relationships. We see separation within our families. We feel separation within our communities. We feel separation within countries. We feel separation within religions. We even feel separation within ourselves, from our mind to our heart, from parts of ourselves through our thoughts. And we need to bring ourselves into wholeness. We need to bring humanity into wholeness. So why is this? Where does this stem from? What is the root? Until we address the root, the energy will continue. In my opinion, through my experience and through my sense, the original separation is being born a male or a female. From oneness, we come into this world as either a male or female. And yes, some people may identify differently. But it's even hidden within our DNA down to the X and Y chromosomes. The story of Adam and Eve shared that they were in paradise in oneness. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. In innocence, and then something happened and they fell. Where did they fall? They fell into separation. And what has been shown to me is ultimately the male energy got jealous. Most likely jealous of Eve's body. That Eve could create a baby within her. That Eve had a unique connection to the Creator, to creation, to God. That is intuitive. That is powerful. That is immense. That is like the ocean waves. The feminine energy dreams the dream, and the masculine energy helps manifest the dream. There is a lot of power within the feminine vessel. The feminine mind, the feminine emotions, the feminine heart and the feminine soul. But what did the masculine energy do when it got jealous of this inner power held within the woman? It tried to overcompensate by using force, physical strength, and the mind to feel more powerful than the woman. For the last thousands and thousands of years, this distortion within the masculine has caused immense pain and suffering. Through wars, education systems that emphasize the mind, repetition over creativity and intuition, healthcare that's more about fixing the symptom than understanding the cause, a world where the mind rules over the emotions, competition, business, where the word profit was exchanged from the original word prophet. Prophet being someone who can see into the future, a wise one. It's an interesting spell that was cast on this wise being to say that the profit of money is the future. Isis was originally one of the most important goddesses of ancient Egypt, considered the mother of all gods, yet a spell was cast on her to now have people think of a terrorist organization. Cancer was originally used in astrology to represent the energy of the mother, emotions, the feminine, and yet we all know how we feel and refer to this word now. Another spell was cast over this word. Our calendar was created by Julius Caesar, a man, away from the lunar calendar, the moon's rhythms, nature's rhythms. For a long, long time, in many cultures, women couldn't vote, women couldn't pray, women had no rights in many parts of the world. They had to cover their bodies. In many religions still, women are owned by men. Where religions refer to God as Father, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, removing any inclination about the feminine energy. Guess who most likely wrote this? Men. The original wound that causes wars, power over, jealousy, separation, pain, and suffering in the world is this original wound. If you want peace in the world, find peace within your own masculine and feminine. If you want peace in the world, find peace within your relationships. If you want peace in the world, see within yourself how you create this separation. We argue about the left wing, the right wing, the Republicans, the Democrats, yet it's the one bird, and that bird is patriarchy. There was a prophecy spoken by natives around the world over 500 years ago. It's the eagle and condor prophecy. It is said that when the eagle and the condor fly as one, there will be peace on earth. The path of the eagle is the path of the mind, of the masculine, while the path of the condor is the path of the heart, of intuition, and of the feminine. It is only when these two energies come together that there will be peace on earth. As projector women, you have chosen to come into a world that has been dominated by the masculine. Come into a world where you've chosen to not have a sacral center, to come into a world to be extra sensitive to feel, which creates extra challenges energetically, sensitivity, emotionally, being understood, being seen, yet it pushes you, it calls you into a depth to connect to something far, far greater than this world. To connect to an energy that's far greater than yourself. And currently we are going through a rebirth of the feminine energy here on this planet. And this is through human design, this is through astrology. Eris, the female warrior, is right now conjunct with the North Node and Chiron, so the feminine wound, most likely as a projector woman, there is anger, there is bitterness, there is rage for parts of yourself being cut off from your womb, cut off from your voice, cut off from your emotions, your creativity, your intuition, and having to fit nicely into a box for the world to accept you. Yet you are going through a rebirth, and now is a time to open yourself up to your feminine energy, to hold the little girl within you, to listen deeply, to protect her, to support her, and to be with her. Because what we have done as the masculine has disconnected the feminine. And not only that, we've disconnected ourselves from the truth, from our Creator. Much like a tree, let's say the branches are masculine and the roots are feminine. It's like the branches getting jealous of the roots because they're the ones within the earth. So the branches decide to cut off the roots, to stop watering the roots, to ignore the roots. And what does that do? Brings the whole tree down, masculine and feminine, to the ground. To the projector women of the world, I'm sorry for my ignorance. I'm sorry for the current state of the world. I'm sorry what men have done and where we currently find ourselves as humanity. I'm sorry for a world that doesn't honor women's cycles, women's emotions, women's sensitivity, women's unique connection to creation. I'm sorry. To men, I ask, as I ask of myself, to humble ourselves enough to see with clear eyes how we continue to perpetuate a world that looks lesser on the feminine energy, to stand up for unity, or more likely stand down for unity, and plant seeds of peace within our own heart, within our own mind, and within all of our relationships. From those seeds, may the eagle and condor prophecy be realized, and may we get to feel what it's like to truly live in peace and harmony within this lifetime. Remember who you are. Remember who you are.